All right, let's talk about something that happens to a lot of great people in the supply chain world. You're working hard, you know your stuff, but you feel like your career has just stalled. Today, we're going to dig into how you can break through that wall and start moving into those bigger, more strategic roles you've been aiming for.
So, does this hit close to home? You're good at what you do, you know the job like the back of your hand, but you're not moving up. You feel kind of stuck, right? Maybe you're seeing these other opportunities pop up, but they just seem to pass you by, and you're left wondering, what am I missing?
You know, there's actually a term for this. It's called the supply chain ceiling. And it's this invisible barrier that so many talented, dedicated people in this field just slam into. And man, is it frustrating.
Think about it. Maybe you're a buyer, an inventory analyst, or a specialist of some kind. You are excellent at the day-to-day stuff, managing orders, keeping track of stock. You know you've got what it takes to be more strategic, but for some reason, those doors just aren't opening up. It feels like all the really high-level roles are always just beyond your grasp.
So what's really going on here? I'll tell you what it's not. It's not about working harder. It's about a very specific, high-value skill gap. It's the difference between just doing your operational job and actually driving the business forward with real data.
So, what's the missing piece of the puzzle? Well, surprisingly, it's often not about having more years of experience. The real game changer, the thing that separates people, is a deep, functional mastery of two absolute powerhouse tools. SAP, the massive system that basically runs global business, and its trusty sidekick, Excel. And the connection here is actually really simple. When you can use the same tools the top executives are using to look at the business, you suddenly become part of that strategic conversation. And that skill, it doesn't just make you more valuable, it directly translates to your paycheck.
And we're not talking about a small cost of living raise here. The impact on your income can be huge. Gaining these skills can seriously put you on a track to double or maybe even triple your salary as you step into those more technical, analytical roles. So the real question is, how do you get there? Well, you build a bridge. You need a clear, practical path that connects where you are right now to where you really want to be. And that bridge has to be built with the exact skills that companies are looking for when they promote people.
And this path, it's not some big mystery. It's a pretty logical progression. First, you build the foundation, learning how to fly around in SAP, pulling the data you need fast. Then you apply that knowledge to the core stuff, like inventory and purchasing. From there, you learn how to make that data tell a story in Excel. And then, here's the magic step, you bring it all together, turning those raw numbers from SAP into powerful insights that actually drive decisions.
Now, to build these skills, you need the right tools. You can't just read a book, right? You need hours of practical, hands-on content, a live SAP platform you can actually practice on so you're not just watching videos, and things like ready-to-use templates that let you make an impact at your job like tomorrow.
And of course, the fastest way to learn anything is from someone who's already been there and done that. You want an expert guide who's used these exact skills to build a career in the real world.
And that guide is Pablo Barrio. He's a certified public accountant and a true supply chain professional.
And when we say he's seasoned, we really mean it. We're talking over 2 decades of in-the-trenches, hands-on experience. This isn't just theory from a textbook. It's practical know-how he earned by solving real problems for real companies.
And his expertise covers the whole spectrum, from purchasing and procurement all the way to inventory and warehouse management. But his sweet spot is those 2 key tools, the SAP Materials Management module, which is like the heartbeat of a company's logistics, and then optimizing everything with Microsoft Excel.
So, what's his why? It's actually pretty simple. He saw again and again that the people who were truly getting ahead were the ones who had mastered SAP and Excel. So, he built an academy to teach those exact real-world skills that get you noticed and get you promoted.
Okay, but that's the theory. Does this approach actually work for real people? Well, let's hear from some professionals who've made this very transformation. Take Michael from New York. He absolutely nails what this is all about. He said the course gave him practical tools, fast explanations, and real-world application. He wasn't just learning concepts, he was learning how to apply them, and he saw the difference in his work right away.
And then there's Luis from Mexico, which kind of shows you the bilingual nature of the course. He says, with just 2 SAP transactions, I can now have practically total control of my tasks, and that it's highly recommended for those who want to advance without wasting time. That right there speaks volumes about the immediate impact.
So look, it all comes down to this. You've already got the experience. You've got the dedication. The next step is just unlocking your full potential by getting those high-value skills that really open doors.
This is the real transformation we're talking about. It's the journey from being a skilled operator who gets tasks done to becoming a strategic professional who uses data to guide the entire business. And trust me, that's the person that companies are always looking for, always want to promote, and always want to reward.
We'll leave you with this thought. At the end of the day, knowledge transforms. The gap between an operational job and a strategic career, it's a knowledge gap. Mastering the tools of your trade, like SAP and Excel, is how you build your own future. And that power to make that change, it's right in your hands.